Hello everyone, welcome back to the Overseer PC. Today we're going to talk about PC builds for May 2021. Previously I've discussed about PC builds for different countries, the Philippines, the US, and New Zealand, all markets that I'm sort of familiar with and have links with. Now I know there's a lot of our viewers that come from different parts of the world, but I don't have any knowledge on how the local market works, like for Brazil and Turkey. Unfortunately, I have no idea on where to talk about these stuff. But if you have any idea where I could actually look at things, then send me a message on my Facebook page, or you can just drop a message in this video here. Anyway, for the month of May 2021, we've felt the effects of the pandemic. GPU prices are crazy. Everything else is crazy as well. The prices are really crazy, and this comes from distributors down to retailers and basically everyone else in the chain. So for today, we're just going to look at the Philippine market. Now, I know this is just catered to the Philippine market, but I mean, if you guys are not from the Philippines and you want to hang around and look, it's also a good idea to look at what's on the other side of the world, or what's, outside of your fins, what's going on in other markets like the Philippines. And I know the prices in here will be in Philippine pesos. 1 USD is equivalent to 48.24 Philippine pesos. At the end of this recording, I will total everything down and put like a USD counterpart. So if you just want to hang around, it's good. Now, before carrying on, I'd like to put a disclaimer here. I'm not affiliated with any companies in this and the things that I'm going to talk about, or the products or anything. I don't receive any commission. And if I do, I will state it in the video. Alright, now let's start with our standard setup. So we'll have the CPU and the motherboard. Now this time around we go for a bundle. And if you remember on our previous video, we suggested the Core i3 10100F. Now this time around I've suggested the Core i5 10400F with a Gigabyte B560 motherboard bundle. Yes boys, a B560 motherboard. 10400F is a 6-core 12-thread processor, and the Gigabyte B560 motherboard gives you that flexibility to upgrade later on if you want to go through an 11th gen core processor. Now, a lot will be saying, hey, Overseas PC, why can't we just have the Ryzen builds? There's also a Ryzen build option. Yeah, it's good. The thing is, when you look at the equivalent here, which is the Ryzen 2600, it's also a 6-core and 12-thread. It comes with a B450. This is an old model motherboard. This is an easy PC bundle. It's about 1200,599. This one's 14,599. There's only a few difference, but in terms of performance, the 10400F is way superior than the 2600, Ryzen 2600. Basically, the only one that could maybe match the 10400F, maybe the 3600, and in some instances the 10400F can even edge out the 3600 Ryzen. So, and because everyone wants Ryzen nowadays, there's a huge demand for Ryzen, and you will end up competing with other people. This is the one I would suggest. Get this one, guys, the Core i5 10400F, if you want to have that gaming experience that you can stream as well, because it has 6 cores and 12 threads. And its IPC, basically its core CPU performance, is really good, like really good. Okay, and later on, now I haven't tried the 10400F, but I have purchased an 11400F and I'm going to test it out on a video soon, so keep an eye out for that one. Now we go to the RAM. For RAM, you just need possibly a 2666 megahertz 2666 megahertz RAM. You could go for 3200, but given that all the prices are crazy high right now, yeah, this is from EasyPC. So RAM, basically this is the cheapest RAM that you could find, about 2,000 pesos for 2666 megahertz DDR4, and it's a Skyhotar 8GB RAM. There are other options here, but they are already expensive. Look at that. The kit set here is 4800, 4900 really, and I tried to look at Lazada and I couldn't find anything that's it seems like RAM prices have increased over the past few months. Yeah, so that's 1999. Okay, so you could probably get that if you want. If you remember my last video, I did have a mate who owned this page here. He sells computer parts and some services as well, Jamie Zone. I'm affiliated with him. Let's just drop down here, but I featured this one in my last video. Where was that? There. Now this was on sale. Now the price, this is still the same, SKIMP 8GB DDR4 RAM, but comes at 3000 megahertz. This was on sale at 1700 pesos. It may have increased now to maybe 2000 pesos, but just message him and he'll be able to give you an updated price. Mention Overseer PC so you'll get a discount. All right, they do have like cash and delivery. Okay, so yeah, that's for your RAM. So get that one for your RAM, because like I said, I couldn't find anything that's a better value in this market. It's just crazy, like crazy. Like the prices of RAM are crazy. I know GPU prices are crazy, but somehow it has trickled down to RAM. So in my local market here in New Zealand, there isn't much trickle down on the RAM, but obviously in the Philippines, everything's gone crazy in terms of prices. So yeah, just message Jamie Zone Computer Parts if you want like a bang for the buck RAM, and you'll probably get like a discount if you just mention Overseer PC. Now I remember last time he had very limited stocks on this one, so first in first serve, guys. Yeah, for the SSD, you could go for a 240 gigabyte SSD, the Kingston A400 SSD. It's about 1800 pesos here in Lazada. You could have like these or some discounts and promotions in here. Yeah, you could go for that one, or you could go for one of these ones. So the cheap versions ones. So like Chinese brand ones, but 240 gigabyte SSD. Whatever you're comfortable with. I know a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, but that's a Chinese RAM." The thing is, both of these RAMs, they don't have that RAM cache, so they work. I've been using like Chinese RAM for some of my builds before. I was using a Golden Fur, and I'm actually using one Golden Fur in one of my rig, an editing rig, and it's still going. It's not the fastest, but it's still going. So yeah, just pick one of that. You could pair it up as well with the hard drive if you want. 1 terabyte hard drive is really expensive now. 1 terabyte is about 2000 pesos. And you could go for 2 terabytes, which is another 3000 pesos. And if you're someone like me who don't like to break down to an SSD, and then I've got like HDD, you could go for like 1 terabyte. You could go for this one here, 1 terabyte of SSD. So you could use that for your games and stuff. So yeah, there's a few choices here. SSD, right? If you want like just 1 terabyte, you don't want to deal with a hard drive, but that's it. Let's go to the next component here. Our power supply will be the same as what we have previously suggested before. It will be the Silverstone, basically the Essential Series, 500 watts. This is a solid brand, solid build. Get this one. Don't get any others like those in play or whatever, no known power supply. Get this one. It's only 1800 pesos from ECPC. It's available. It's very high ratings, and this is what I've always been suggesting, even on my 2019 PC build. Alright, so get that one in. Oh, before we continue, hit that like button, guys. Subscribe and share this with your friends, or maybe not share it with your friends, but hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Okay, a different option would also be FSP-HV Pro 550 watts. Now, as I've mentioned on my previous video before, this comes with two 8-pin connectors for our CPU. So this is good if you've got those motherboards with 2 sockets for the CPU. So this is a good choice as well. Yep, what's that? CPU connector. Yep, 2 of those, 4+4 pins. So yeah, get this one, guys. Right, now let's go for our cases. So I've looked through a few cases in Lazada. I just want to look at the cheapest ones you can find. Cheapest one I would recommend as well. I haven't used these cases, but I'll just look at design cases. So what I'm looking for casing design is it must have an intake in the front, and it must have a bottom mounted PSU. So in this case, we've got the KTEX Silver Saber front mounted fans, and there's like a mesh there, so there's intake there, and you've got the power supplies down the bottom. The layout, I like the layout of this one. Intakes there. you can put like some exhaust on the top or intake on the bottom, doesn't matter. Yep. And then you've got like the slot here in the PSU. So the PSU can have its intake directly underneath, means it can take some good cool air underneath, rather than using if the PSU is mounted on the top, it will take hot air that's already in the system and it'll make things hotter, less efficient. So that's why I've always recommended to pick a case with a bottom mounted PSU, and this is why it has evolved to that one. Alright, so that's about $999, although the delivery is a bit high, but doesn't matter. And you can also pick this one as well. This has a cheaper delivery, pretty much beat the bottom mounted, and you've got like some intake here, okay, and you've got some RGB lighting here. Pretty simple case, yep, the intake is on the side here, intake, and then bottom mounted PSU. It doesn't have a shroud though for the stuff, so you can't hide things in there, but you know, still works. Yep, so you could still go through do some cable management on here, and yep, so you could put your intake there and then outputs that way. On top you could put like 2 fans over there. Let's go to our next suggestion. Same thing over here. G-Storm Hot Wheel mid-tower gaming PC case. It's about $945 from Easy PC. I think it looks cool. It's like Iron Man or something. Yeah, bottom mounted PSU. No shroud though. So no PSU shroud. No, there's nothing that blocks the the internals over there and hides, so you can't. You need to be very tidy with your cables if you're going to use this one. But you can put 3 fans in there and 2 fans at the top, 1 fan on the rear. So that's good layout, and it's cheap. $945 guys. $945. Can't make any mistake on that one. This one here, I did look at this one. G-Storm Me M3 acrylic computer case. I had a look. I like the features in this one. Initially, I got like a mesh front. The problem is it has a top mounted PSU, so I wouldn't recommend this one. And like I said, because of the top mounted design, all the heat that comes inside, the case will go into the PSU, so it'll make the PSU run hotter, and then maybe it'll be less efficient. So yeah, so that's why I wouldn't recommend that one. I did look at this other one as well. This is tempered glass front and side, random PC case. Don't get this one guys. The only reason why I wouldn't recommend this one is because there's no front intake. Look at that, the glass is so close to the front. I know there is a very small gap, but if you got that really small gap with the law of physics and aerodynamic, there's not much air that's going into that one. The fans will try its best to suck air. When it does that, it'll produce more heat, produces more heat on the case. So yeah, although it does have a shroud and it comes like a bottom mounted PSU, I don't recommend this one, basically because of poor airflow. Right, now anything with this type of design that the glass is too close, don't get that one. Poor airflow. Let's go to the most difficult topic, GPU. So GPU prices has been crazy. Everything's been crazy. It's just crazy everywhere. There's the mining, there's the shortage, there's a pandemic, there's a lot of variables, and it has caused that the GPU prices are now crazy. So even like a simple 1030, you can get it for 3,800 pesos. So if you're really skimping down on GPU, you could get that one. But what I would recommend is maybe get something like, maybe this one here, 1650. So it's expensive, yeah, 1,500, 15,000. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. I mean, there is, you can get it discounted as well if you purchase like, a set with them, like minimum i5. So if you purchase the i5 with a B560 or B460, you can get it at a discounted price. Okay, so it's about, yeah, get that one, because I tried to look around, like here in PC Express. I'm not sure if they have updated their prices. If this is current price, I would get this one. 1650 Super, 9,450. But I usually doubt that this is updated pricing, because all their prices have just increased. Everyone's prices have just increased. So I've tried to message PC Express, but they haven't got back to me. I will probably leave a comment on this video and see any updated ones. You can see in all the, like here in DynaQuest PC, everything's pretty much expensive. Like the 1050 Ti, yeah, that's crazy expensive. And I would probably just get this or that 1650. Won't be the best, but yeah. Now, if you feel all these, like coming up with this build is really crazy expensive, you could try pre-builds as well. So I've looked up some pre-builds. This is from Ipason or Ipason. That's a good pre-build here. Look at that. It's 23,000. It comes with a 6-core 12 threads Ryzen 2nd gen. It already comes with a 1050 Ti. You have an option to upgrade to a 1650. If you click on that one, I think there's only one left. Yeah, only one left. So if you're watching this video, just buy that one. You may need to change a few things over here, like maybe like the power supply. You could change that one, or you could add an extra stick of RAM. Oh, that's a 1650 already, so that's pretty good. And 23,000, that's quite good. I would buy this. I mean, the case is not the best, but you know, all the components that you are looking for is there. And I would change a PSU. You know, if I could get in touch with them, just change PSU. And like I said, guys, there's only one left, so better be quick. And another pre-build. So this is one of the pre-builds. So if you feel that the GPU prices are really crazy and you just want to look at pre-builds, this is from ARC. They are very competitive in terms of pricing, I think. I'm not affiliated with them, obviously, but if you just want like a pre-built system, and this is just like an onboard graphics, you can pick this unit here, 3400 quad core. You could pick a motherboard in here, although it is only an A series motherboard. I would pick like maybe a B, but in this case, yeah, that's fine. A series. You could add another stick of RAM here. You could have like it's a SKIMP or AITC RAM there. So just add another stick and SSD. Yeah, you could pick which one here. I mean, they're all like Chinese brands, but yeah, they're fine, guys. They're fine. And you've got a hard drive in here. I would probably change this one here. Now, change this one to an upgraded PSU, and for the casing you have options of changing casing if you want that bling in here. Yeah, they've got other options here as well. Pretty much, like I said, I would change that. I would change the PSU on this one. I don't like generic PSU. I know it says 700W, but it's not 700 watts, guys. It's just 700W. Yep, so this is their 3400G basic package. So this is good. This is a good pre-build. 3400G quad core. So this is running on an onboard graphics. So while you're waiting for the GPU prices to stabilize, which will be about, I'm guessing, later this year, actually, because GPU prices will stay high because Ethereum prices are really high. Everyone's buying cards for mining stuff. Yeah, and even if they are, people are buying just for gaming, they're also mining. And I can tell you that. I mean, I'm not mining, but I know a lot of my friends or a lot of my mates who are purchasing their cards are gamers, but they're also mining. Everyone's doing it. I mean, it's extra money. In here, for this one is where you got an upgraded PSU. I would get the Hyper K. So all these PSU, right? Fusion, I haven't heard about that one. Red Dragon is new to the market. Hunkey's been around, but I don't like their practices, so I would use Hyper K. Insist on Hyper K, guys. FSP Hyper K. For the casing, yeah, you could get whatever is there, right? Cyber Robot or whatever. Brand new. They look like that's a pretty decent case. This is one of the cases that we've suggested earlier. We got a 22-inch full HD LED monitor. You could probably change that LED if you want to upgrade that one. And you've got all these freebies here, free LEDs and all that stuff. And only at 24,000 pesos, you can add your video card later on. So we have one of your a premium set here. So this comes with a video card, the 2060 gigabyte RTX. It comes with the latest, well, not the latest, but their 3000 series CPU. It comes already with a B450 motherboard, so that's good. And you got like a T-Force or Clev. Either of those ones are good. So those brands are good. And for the SSD, they're all Chinese SSD. So just pick one and you've got a hard drive ready. And as I've said, with the PSU, insist on Hyper K. Casing doesn't really matter. Pick whichever one you want. And the monitor, you've got a full HD monitor. Like I said, I would probably check that monitor if it comes with a 144 Hz and change it to a 144 Hz monitor. And that's about it. Unfortunately, it comes at 52,000. So yeah, just weigh in. So weigh in on some things, and I'll give you a total of the prices that we have come up so far in our video. Okay, so here's the total for our pricing here. So for our build, we've got the CPU is about 14,599. The RAM's about, maybe let's take it, that's about 1900. So it's about 3,800 SSD. And then it brings that all the total at about 40,000 pesos. So that's roughly about 830 US dollars. Now I put down the GPU price in here at about 15,000. You can obviously bring it up to whatever amount you want, but that's the base amount. So this is for the 1650, or roughly around that number. What I would suggest is maybe just buy a cheap video card at this stage, and then just once prices have stabilized, you can upgrade later on. But that's our breakdown here, guys. So about 830 USD for a 6-core 12-thread Intel Engine 10400F, right, with a 1650 graphics card. So for 40,000, this excludes the monitor and other accessories, but you could save, for example, you could purchase a monitor for about, I don't know, 8,000 pesos, and then all the other accessories, so brings it down to 50,000 pesos. So that's our 50,000 peso build there. But just for the system unit, that's that. And if you're wanting to purchase a Windows key or something like that, you can purchase stuff from eBay, or I'll put down my link on one of my old sponsors before. It's down below. You can put the code there as well to get a discount. So yeah, you can get those Windows keys there. So basically you'll be roughly around 50,000 for this build, 6 cores, or 40,000 just for the system unit. And yeah, that's it. Now, if you found this video helpful, press the like button, really helps us a lot, guys. And what do you think? Do you have any thoughts, or do you have any comments regarding the builds? Do you have any suggestions regarding the build that we've discussed here in this crazy priced market? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to discuss things with you guys, and if you see something that's a better deals, just let me know. Alright, and we can share it with our mates here, we can share it with everyone, and let's just help out each other as gamers. Alright, and I'll see you in the next video.